Hi everyone, if you're new here, this is my name, and today I'll be teaching you how I made this beautiful fringe vest. It's super duper easy to make, guys, so I'm sure you're going to enjoy making it as much as I did. You're going to hear me call it a throw on a few times because it's that simple. You throw it on and you're good to go. So I made it 32 inches long, but you can make it shorter or longer according to your style. You'll need 4 balls of yarn for it, a 4.5mm hook, and some stitch markers. Alright, so today this is the yarn I'll be using. It's called Seal. It's a 3-ply made in Kenya. It's chunky, 100% acrylic. Yeah, I think that's it. It's 100 grams for those who may want to know. And I'll be using a 4.5mm hook. So let's get started. You're going to start by making a slip knot. Insert your hook, and you're going to make a chain of 41. But before that, let me show you an example of what we're trying to make. And this is it here. So we're going to chain 41 from up here going down to this corner, and then we're going to chain 31 going to the second corner, and then we chain 40 again going back up. So you're going to make a chain of 41. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. 10, that's 40, 41. Okay, so you're going to mark that stitch, that 41st stitch. Place there a stitch marker, and now we're going to make 31 chains from here. So chain 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30 31, and you're going to mark it as well. So these stitches that we're marking are going to be these ones, the corners or the pointed parts of our throw on. So you're going to chain 40 from here. So chain 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, and that's 40. So this is what we have now, and in total these are 112 chains all together. All right, so from here now, well, this is now our foundation chain. So from here you're going to add an additional of 3 chains, and the 3 chains are going to work as our turning chain. Okay, so you're going to hold that last stitch and make 3 more chains. Okay, and then yarn over and make a double crochet in that stitch which you're holding. It would also be nice if you can work in the back loops, but either way it works. You can go with what works best for you. So place there a double crochet, yarn over, make a double crochet into the next loop, and you're making another double crochet into the next chain or loop, and you're going to continue with this until you get to the stitch marker. So once you get to the stitch marker, you're going to remove it, put it aside, and you're going to make 2 double crochets in that stitch where you had your stitch marker. So make the 2 double crochets, chain 2, yarn over again, and make 2 more double crochets in that same space. Okay, and by doing this we have made our first corner. So from here you're going to continue normally like what we did here, making a double crochet in each stitch until you get to the other stitch marker. So make double crochets until you get to the second stitch marker, and basically we're going to do the same thing we just did here. So I'm now towards the second stitch marker. So take out the stitch marker and make 2 double crochets in that same stitch. 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, all in that same space. Okay, and now we have created our second corner. So you're now going to make double crochets like what we did here until you get to this very last stitch. So at the end of row 1, this is what you should be having. Okay, that's how your work should be looking. So we're now off to row 2. To start row 2, you're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this chain 4 is going to count as a double crochet and a chain 1. So you're going to chain 4 and turn your work. Then yarn over, and you're going to skip a stitch and make a double crochet into the next. Chain 1, yarn over, skip a stitch and make a double crochet into the next stitch. Chain 1, yarn over and skip a stitch and make a double crochet into the next, and you're going to repeat that until you get to the corner. So once you get to the corner, chain 1, yarn over and make 2 double crochets in the chain 2 space from our previous row. Then chain 2, make 2 more double crochets all in the same space. Then chain 1, yarn over, skip a stitch, make a double crochet into the next, chain 1, skip a stitch, and you are going to repeat this until you get to the next corner. So once you get to the corner, you're going to chain 1, place 2 double crochets in that chain 2 space, chain 2, 2 double crochets in that same space, then chain 1, yarn over, skip a stitch, and make a double crochet into the next, chain 1, and repeat this until you get to the end of the row. So that's the end of row 2, and your work should be looking like this. Okay, like that. So don't forget the little detail here. Well, you're going to be chaining 2 on each row every time you get to the corners. All right, we're chaining 2 here. Only here in the corners we are chaining 2. So we're going to continue with row 3. So chain 3 and turn your work, and then place there a double crochet in the chain 1 space. So we just chained 3 here, but if you can remember, on row 2 we chained 4. So we chained 4 because we were making a double crochet and a chain 1 in each space. So since we're not going to be making any spaces here, that's why we're chaining 3. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that it's understood. So chain 3, yarn over, make a double crochet in the chain 1 space, yarn over, make a double crochet on top of the second stitch, yarn over, make a double crochet in the chain 1 space, yarn over, make a double crochet on top of the double crochet from the previous row, and you're going to be repeating this until you get to the corner, and then I show you what to do there and we continue. So once you get to the corner here, you're going to make 2 double crochets and chain 2. We're chaining 2 every time we get to the corners, and make 2 more double crochets, and then continue with a double crochet on top of each stitch and a double crochet in every chain 1 space. So what we just did on that corner is the same thing we're doing on the second corner, and we continue until we get to the end of the row. So once you get to the corner, make 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets all in that same space, and continue with a double crochet on each stitch and each chain 1 space. So once you get to the end of row 3 here, you're going to first place a double crochet in this space here, because if you can remember, here we chained 4, meaning there is a chain here and we have to place there a double crochet. And then we're going to end the row with a double crochet on top of the chain. Okay, and by doing it like this, we have a straight edging here, a straight line, because we're trying to have it straight. And at the end of row 3, your work should be looking like this. Okay, so now we're off to row 4. So to start row 4, you're going to chain 4. Chain 1, 2, 3, 4, and this counts, and again this counts as a double crochet and a chain 1. Turn your work, yarn over, skip the next stitch, and place a double crochet into the next. Chain 1, skip a stitch and make a double crochet into the next. Chain 1, skip a stitch, and you repeat that. So basically we're repeating row 2 for row 4, and it's going to be a repetition of row 2 and row 3. So you're going to repeat row 2. Once you're done with row 2, you're going to repeat this row 3. You're going to make double crochets in each stitch and each chain 1 space, just like what we did here. And then don't forget, we're chaining 2 in the corners. So I hope that's clear. If you didn't get it well, feel free to watch the video again until you get it. You're going to repeat that until you have a total of 10 rows. Okay, and you're going to make 2 of these. You're going to make 2, and then I'll be showing you how to join them and make our throw on. So by now, guys, you must have completed your 2 panels looking exactly the same. We're now going to join these 2 together, and before that you're going to like flip it like this, and get the second one and put it on the opposite side like this. So you're going to make sure that everything is, you know, aligned very well. So now we're going to make 1 more row of double crochet, starting from up, ending here, and then we shall join the 2 sides together. So you're going to grab the piece which you were still you last worked on, where the yarn is still attached, and then you're going to chain 3. I have chained 1 here, 2, 3. So chain 3 and turn your work, and we're going to make 1 row just like this one, and we're going to stop at this corner. So just like how you did the rest, the difference is just at the corner there. So continue with double crochets on top of each stitch, and in each chain 1 space, and let me meet you at the corner of your work, and then I'll show you how to make the last stitch here. So I'm now working towards the end here. So when you get to the corner here, you're going to make 1 double crochet in this middle, in the chain 2 space. So simply make a double crochet in that space, and that's it, because we're not making an increase right now. So that's what you should be having, a straight line. So now we're going to join these 2 together. So you're going to have the wrong side facing you. So this is the wrong side right now, and you get the second panel and do the same thing with it. So now you're going to join this part to this other side, okay? And we're joining it from the wrong side. So you're going to hold these 2 together like this. And you're going to join them all the way up. So I'm going to use the single crochet stitch, but feel free to use any stitch that is easy for you to use, maybe a slip stitch. So you're going to insert your hook in the opposite side in the corner and make a slip stitch like that, and then you're going to go through both loops on each side, making a single crochet. Pin your work first if you must, or remember to stretch it, making sure that everything is even and well stitched so that you don't have any stitches left out. So we now have these two last chains. You are going to insert in your hook and in the opposite side and make there a single crochet. Okay, or you can even make there a slip stitch so that it can match with how we started the joining. So slip stitch in there, make a chain one, and then you can cut the yarn. I always leave a long tail which I can weave in later. So we have now joined the two pieces together, and this is the inside part. This is the wrong side, and this is how the right side looks. Okay, so now we're done with the joining of this part, and this is going to be the back part of our throw on. So that's how it looks. So now you're going to flip it and align it like that. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to join the shoulder part of our work. And to do that, we're going to count like 5 rows, since we have 10 for every side. So you're going to count, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So on this 5th row, that's where we're going to start the joining of our shoulder part. So insert your hook there, and you're going to count the stitches on this other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it means you're going to insert your hook in this opposite side here. So we're going to start joining from here, going this towards the end, or you can start from this side and end it here. You just have to go with what works for you. So I'm making a knot and then attaching my yarn, and I'm going to join with single crochet for this part as well. So make single crochets, like 1 single crochet in each space or 2. Just making sure that everything is well joined. So in that same last stitch, you're going to end it with a slip stitch. Okay, then chain 1 and cut the yarn. And by doing that, we have joined this part for our shoulders. And now you're going to do the same thing for this other side, and I'll meet you back once you are done with it. So by now, I assume that you have joined both the shoulders of your work, and this is how it should be looking. Okay, this is still the wrong side, but we're now going to flip it around. So the next thing we're going to do is you're going to grab your yarn, and we're now going to work, well, you can put it upside down. I know when you do this, can you see, I know you will be seeing a design in there. So make a knot. And now you're going to attach your yarn on one of the corners. I'm going to attach my yarn here, and we're going to work our way around making double crochets until we get to this last stitch here. Okay, so we're just going to do the same double crochets we were making here. So insert your hook and reattach your yarn and chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then make a double crochet on top of the next stitch, a double crochet on top of the next stitch, a double crochet in the chain 1 space, and a double crochet on top of the next stitch. And we're doing this all the way around until we get to the other second corner. So I'm going to work my way around, and I'll meet you here. So once you get here, I almost forgot to show you this little detail. So once you get to this space where this is the back part which we joined here. So you're first going to place a double crochet in this chain 2 space, the corner part of it. Make there a double crochet and then yarn over, and you're going to make a double crochet. You're going to make a double crochet on top of this stitch here. This double crochet here, we're placing there a double crochet. So insert your hook and make a double crochet, and then now we're going to make a double crochet in this space. Well, there is no stitch here, so you're just going to go between the stitches and place there a double crochet, and then yarn over and make a double crochet into the next space like that, and then a double crochet on top of the next stitch, and you continue with our normal double crochets like how we've been doing. Alright, and your work should be looking like this. So we're keeping this line straight. So once you get to the other corner, you're going to yarn over and simply place there a double crochet. Okay, and that's how it should be looking. So we're now going to repeat the mesh part of this. So you're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and turn your work. And basically you're going to do what we've been doing while making these chain 1 and a double crochet into the next stitch. So you're going to skip the next stitch here and place a double crochet into the next, then chain 1, skip a stitch and make a double crochet into the next, and repeat that all the way around until you get to the other corner. So I'm now towards the end and I have 3 stitches left. So you're going to skip the next, make a double crochet into the next. So we're trying to have this edging straight, so you're simply going to make a double crochet in this chain, in this very last stitch. Okay, so chain 1 and make your last stitch in that chain right there. And that's how you'll be ending your work, because you're trying to have this line straight. Hold up. Let me flip it around so you can see it well. So now this is it. We are now working around this area, working from this corner to this other corner, and we are keeping this line straight. We need this line straight like this going down. So that's why at the end of each row you have to make sure that you have a stitch in the very last, in the chain that's at the end. So make sure you place there a stitch so that your work can be straight. I hope that's clear. So basically that's what you're going to repeat until you have this long enough to how you want it. I still don't know how many rows I'm going to make, so I'll go ahead and make them and then I'll get back and show you guys what I have, and we'll continue from there. So you're going to repeat, because now the next row is going to be that of double crochets on top of the stitch and in the chain 1 spaces, and you're going to repeat the same pattern until you have it long enough to how you want it to be. So I'm going to work the rest of camera and I'll get back and show you what I have, and then we continue from there. So I've completed my vest here, guys, and this is what I have so far. So now I made a total of 32 rows, starting from where we joined off from going up to the the whole bottom part. I made about 32 rows altogether. From this point to where it stops here, I made 32 rows. So we're now going to work around the neck area because I don't like how it's looking right now. So grab your yarn, make a knot and reattach it. So you're going to insert your hook. You can either insert it in the chain or like in the space here, but I'm going to insert it right here, actually in this stitch. And then you're going to chain 4. That's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, actually chain 5. So once you're done with the chain of 5, you're going to yarn over and you're going to place a double crochet in this stitch here, like where this stitch starts from, right here. Place the double crochet and then chain 2, yarn over and make a double crochet in this next space. Well, it's not a space, it's more of a stitch. Well, chain 2. Basically, you're just placing a stitch where the next one starts from or where it ends at. Chain 2. And place there a double crochet. Chain 2. Make a double crochet into the next stitch. And when you get here, chain 2, yarn over and place a double crochet in that stitch. Chain 2, place a double crochet in the next stitch there. Chain 2, and repeat this all the way around until you get to where the neckline stops at. So you're going to make the last double crochet into the very last stitch here. Make the double crochet, chain 1 and cut the yarn. Like that. Yeah, so I wanted the neck to match with how with the mesh stitch around. So this is going to stay as is, or you can add a design that you like, but I'm going to weave in these ends later. So the last thing we're going to do is attach our fringe, and to do that I ended my rows with the mesh, with the mesh row. So I'm going to be attaching my fringes between these spaces that I have around. So I already cut my fringe. It's right here. So I'll be using 2 strands like these. Let me measure them for you. – 16 inches long. So what you do is hold them from the center so that they are even here at the end. and then you're going to use your hook, insert it in the space where you're going to attach the fringe. I don't know whether you see it well. So insert your hook in that space, and then you're going to create something like a loop here, something like this, and then you're going to pull through, and then pull through, like you yarn over the rest of the strands, and then pull them through the loop, and then pull tight. Hold the two strands like this, and then you have a loop here at the top. Insert your hook in the space where you're going to make the fringe and pull it through, pull the loop through, and pull the rest of the fringes through that loop. And I'll show you one more time. You can as well use your hands. Grab the two strands that you're going to use, but you're going to use the hook to pull them through like this, and then use your fingers to grab the rest of the strands and pull them through like this. And it's as simple as that. So you're going to make fringes all the way around, and I'll get back. I'm done attaching my fringe, and this is how it looks. I love it. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know how you found this tutorial. Let me know what you would like me to make next, and yeah, ask me questions if you have any in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you. Otherwise, see you in my next tutorial.